Classroom of the Elite begins with a group of high school students boarding a luxurious bus. We see Kiyotaka and Koji, a reserved non-assuming student, on this bus. He notices the other students boast about their family's wealth and prestige, but he doesn't seem to share their enthusiasm. The bus arrives at Kudo Ikise High School, a prestigious institution that only admits the top 1% of students in Japan. The school's campus is vast, featuring state-of-the-art facilities such as a swimming pool and a library of over 50,000 books. Aya and Koji, along with the rest of his first-year students, attend an assembly where they are introduced to the school's unique point-based system. Every month, students are given points that they can use to buy anything they want on campus. However, the amount of points they receive is based on their academic and social performance, which creates an intense competition amongst the students. After the assembly, Aya and Koji goes to his classroom, where he meets his classmates, including the beautiful and intelligent Suzune Horikita, and the outgoing and popular Kikyo Kushida. The teacher, Sei Chabashira, enters the classroom and introduces herself as the homeroom teacher. She warns the students that she has a zero-tolerance policy for troublemakers. As the day goes on, Aya and Koji observes his classmates, and he notes that they are all exceptional in their own way. He also senses that there is an underlying tension between them. Chabashira reveals that the first years have not received any points for the month. She warns the students that they need to work harder if they want to succeed in Kudo Ikase. Suzune Horikita and Kiyotaka Aya and Koji are discussing the point-based system of Kudo Ikase. They both agree that the system is flawed and they need to try to find a new way to earn new points. They decide to form a study group of two of their students called Ken Sudo and Kanji Ike to improve their grades and increase the chances of earning more points. The group starts studying together, but it quickly becomes clear that Sudo and Ike are not taking it seriously. Aya and Koji confronts them, telling them that they are wasting their time and they need to try to work hard if they want to succeed. Sudo and Ike agree and start studying seriously. Later, Horikita confronts her brother in the library and asks him why he transferred to Kudo Ikase. He reveals that he did it to escape their father's control and to prove to him that he is capable of achieving greatness on his own terms. He also tells her that she shouldn't compare herself to him and that she should focus on her own strengths. After her brother leaves, we see Suzune Horikita and Kiyotaka Aya and Koji discussing the reason why she was placed in Class D, which is considered to be the lowest ranked class in the school. Aya and Koji explains that Horikita believes that people will hold her back, so she keeps them at arm's length from the start to ensure her own personal success, and this could be the reason why she was placed in Class D. Aya and Koji is reflecting on the progress of their study group and all the challenges that lie ahead. The students receive their test scores, which reveals everyone's success except for Sudo, who is now in danger of being expelled. Horikita and Aya and Koji manage to convince the teacher to give Sudo a boost in their test score. This is done to prevent him from getting expelled. They achieve this by using their monthly points to buy the test score boost. Afterwards, Aya and Koji invites their classmates to his apartment for a small celebration in honor of Sudo not getting expelled. During the gathering, Kikyo accidentally leaves her phone behind, and Aya and Koji decides to return it to her. However, when he follows her to her destination, Aya and Koji finds him ranting about Horikita, and he can't really seem to make anything out of it. He witnesses a completely different side of Kikyo that causes him to question who she really is. Kikyo notices Aya and Koji's reaction to her sudden change of behaviour, which makes her feel uncomfortable. In order to keep her true personality a secret, she threatens to accuse Aya and Koji of assault if he tells anyone else what he saw. She then proceeds to grab his hand, forcing it onto her boobs in order to leave fingerprints as evidence. After they agree upon their strange deal, she switches back to the cute, harmless Kikyo, who could never hurt a fly. Later, Class B is praising a girl named Ecchi, who helped her class do well in the test by creating a study group that resulted in an increase in class points. Aya and Koji is introduced to Ecchi, who is friends with Kikyo, but he soon turns his attention to his own class. During class, the teacher reveals that their points may be delayed for a month, and news has surfaced that Sudo was involved in the fight. The class decides to work together to find witnesses to clear Sudo's name. Aya and Koji has an encounter with Ecchi, who offers to help him and his team find a witness. As the search goes on, Ecchi receives an anonymous email sharing information about the guy that fought Sudo, and how likely it is that he actually started the fight and not Sudo. Out of a good gesture, Ecchi tries to send points to the anonymous email sender as appreciation for the tip, and Aya and Koji offers to help her figure it out. As he assists her, he sees that balance exceeds 2 million points, which raises suspicion for him. Aya and Koji shares his finding with Kikyo, and he expresses doubts that things will go well for Sudo, who has a history for being uncooperative. Later, Kikyo is trying to get Sakura, who is believed to be a witness to Sudo's fight, to talk about the incident. An unfortunate incident occurred between Sakura and Kikyo, when Kikyo accidentally caused Sakura's camera to fall and stop working. Sakura now has a malfunctioning camera that needs to be repaired, and she asks her friend Aya and Koji and Kikyo to accompany her to the electronics store. When they arrive, the store clerk, Yukitsu, requests Sakura's contact information. However, she becomes too nervous and Aya and Koji steps in to provide his details instead. After their visit to the store, the trio sit down and chat. Kikyo excuses herself to freshen up, leaving Aya and Koji and Sakura alone. Awkward silence ensues, but Sakura eventually opens up to Anirecaps about the difficult decision she has to make. His words of encouragement resonate with her, causing her to blush and stare at him for a moment before Kikyo returns. Kikyo then asks to visit Anirecaps in his room later, indicating that she may also have feelings for him. Back at the dorms, Kikyo and Anirecaps stumble upon some pictures of Sakura and discover that she is an internet model who had recently gained significant popularity. Sakura then calls Kikyo and offers her to help in the upcoming case. The day of the hearing arrives and both classes testify, blaming each other for the fight. The initial ruling goes in favour of Class C, but Suzune, who would remain silent due to her brother's presence, speaks up after getting tickled by Anirecaps. She questions the circumstances surrounding the fight, and points out that it would be nearly impossible for one person to cause such serious injuries in a 3-on-1 fight. Suzune presents Sakura as a witness, who provides photographic evidence of the fight. The evidence only shows that Ari was present, however it does not clear Sudo of any wrongdoing. The homeroom teacher for Class C proposes a compromise to suspend Sudo for 2 weeks, and the 3 Class C students for 1 week each. However, Class D rejects the offer, resulting in a heated argument that is soon broken up by Manabu. Manabu realizes that one side is lying and breaks up the hearing, stating that he will make his decision the following day unless new evidence is presented. Anirecaps speaks to Sakura about her late admission, and Manabu confronts them, accusing Sakura of lying. Anirecaps defends her, and Manabu attempts to strike him, but Anirecaps quickly dodges the attack. Manabu then challenges Anirecaps to prove Sakura's testimony, to which he responds that he will have to wait and see. A monologue of the life of Ari Sakura unfolds, with some details as to why she chose not to get involved with others. She receives letters from an obsessed person who proclaims their love for her due to the pictures she posts on the internet, which scares her. Meanwhile, Suzune Horikita and Kitaka Anirecaps investigate the stairwell, where Suzune discovers something very important. Later, Kitaka arrives in the classroom, where Ari is waiting for everyone before he announces his presence to her, startling her. He tells her that there is no need to be tense and thanks her for her recent actions in saving the class, which might make the class trust her. The 3 boys from Class C, who accuse Ken of attacking them, also arrive at the stairwell, under the pretense that Kikyo Kushida called them, and are now fearful of being expelled. Kiyotaka tells them that there is a way for both classes to walk away safely. The leader, Daishi Ishizaki, considers it and withdraws his accusation. Elsewhere, Ari is walking through the school store and feels that someone is following her, which scares her. Meanwhile, Kiyotaka is talking to Hanami, promising to repay her for the points he borrowed from her for the cameras. Kiyotaka soon gets a call from Ari, who sounds terrified on the other side, before the call is cut abruptly. The person holding Ari is the store clerk, Yukitsu Kushida, who is revealed to be a crazed stalker obsessed with her online pictures. He interrogates her about the letters regarding his feelings to her and her avoiding him, but she is too scared of the situation. Kiyotaka takes a picture of him in the act and informs the man of the consequences of his actions. After Hanami and the guards take the man away from the scene, Kiyotaka speaks with Ari, telling her that her life as an idol may bring about such drama. Ari discards her glasses and tells Kiyotaka that she will live a life without any more lies. Touched, Ari thanks him and takes his hand, before gazing at Kiyotaka. However, he says that he never looked at her that way, but she laughs it off. That is some L-Riz. Meanwhile, on the roof of the school, Sei Chabashira is smoking leisurely before Suzune appears and questions why Class C withdrew their complaint, asking what Suzune did. She explains that she used the surveillance cameras that Kiyotaka had set up, which recorded the fight to threaten the boys. Suzune questions if Chabashira will take disciplinary action against her, but Chabashira decides to overlook it, saying it was an excellent idea. Suzune, however, suspects that there is more to Chabashira's leniency than she lets on. Finally, Kiyotaka and Suzune have a conversation about their next steps on how to deal with the White Room. They both agree that they need to investigate more and find out more about the White Room's plans. That's all for this video. Make sure to subscribe, like and comment. And if you enjoyed the video, check out the Anime Recap playlist. And if you have any anime suggestions, please join my Discord link down below. Look out and take care.